Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. Hope you're having a great day. It's the last day of May. Can you believe this? We've got a fun program today, interesting and fun program. We're going to start off with the YMCA, the local YMCA here in the Inland Northwest, and talk about youth sports. They've got a great program, and we'll hear about that today. Spokane Association of Realtors, one of our friends and a sponsor of Real Estate Radio on our station. We'll be here talking about what's been going on in real estate and how things are going in terms of what they predict the future to be. Compass USA. I'm not sure I know that much about it, except we're going to find out today. Independent Wealth Connections. Don Morgan will be here next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
My name is Randy James. I'm the founder and director of the Institute of Science and Technology at North Central High School. Kids are far more capable than we ever give them credit. We have $1 million worth of equipment, and we let them use it. And you give them a place to play and do science for real. Instead of having to outsource engineers and scientists and mathematicians, we have kids right here. It takes a whole community to raise children. It really does. STCU invests in the community, and they're a longtime supporter of education. Collectively, we can make a huge difference. I'm Randy James, and STCU is here for good.
You hear us say it.
We are tracking breaking news in Spokane County where
We're talking exclusive.
I want to be the survivor and someone that reaches out and helps other people.
These stories you'll only see here.
My family say because he is off the streets.
This interview.
What is it like being a teenager nowadays?
This investigation. This moment for the first time.
I hope our apartment doesn't burn down.
We don't just cover breaking news, we own it.
Pretty scared, thought we weren't going to make it through.
KHQ Local News, right now.
Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. It's 70 degrees. I don't think we've seen 70 degrees except at night for a couple of weeks here. But don't worry, it's Spokane. It will warm up the next few days, and I think we have a great weekend coming. And it's a great time to go outside with your kids and your grandkids and perhaps even be involved in YMCA youth sports. I'm pleased to have, number one, way on the left over here is Casey Cloninger. Okay, yeah. Easy for me to say.
Yep.
You couldn't be Smith or anything like that. I know. Adams, you know. Yep. Anyway, one of our many interns from EWU, and you've been working on a little bit of a project, but before we get to that, let's welcome Mike Williams with the Spokane YMCA. Am I allowed to call it Spokane YMCA, or is the YMCA of the Inland Northwest? You know, do I get in trouble for that?
I'm not going to get you.
Oh, okay. Maybe the first time.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit before we went on the air. 40 and a half years ago, I was a YMCA director, and that's when I started to gain this. After I went from being out with the kids and playing basketball and the sports and things like that to as you grow in the YMCA in any profession, you kind of climb the ladder and you get behind the desk, and that's when that started a little bit. So anyway, Casey, let's talk with you first about what is this you're doing for us here at Spokane Talks.
So I am...
Explain yourself.
Explain myself. All right. Well, I'm hoping to incorporate some more youth sports for you guys.
Okay.
There hasn't been many sports been covered lately.
Right.
And so I've been going out and attending a few sporting events, taking videos, and just putting it all together to give you guys.
So we're going to get to see that pretty soon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been working on it.
Do I get to look at it first, or are we going to just spring it on our viewers?
And I think you really need to look at it first.
Oh, okay. And Mike, let's talk a little bit about how does sports fit into the YMCA picture?
Well, part of what the YMCA is healthy living.
I mean, I have to move a little closer,
absolutely.
Okay?
So we're about healthy living, and if you want to do that and take that into the youth today, I think sports is a great avenue for that.
and we do a lot with kind of how kids should be eating as well.
Okay.
And,
okay.
So
you could use me as the poster boy for the bad side of things, right?
We would love to.
Are you trying to tell me that maybe half a cake at night is a little much?
It's not great. Maybe a quarter of a cake would be okay.
And the other quarter in the morning for breakfast.
Correct. Yeah, you don't want it to go bad.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, I'm going to ask a kind of a personal question. How did you get involved in the YMCA? Yeah.
So great story. I was attending Eastern.
Okay.
And go Yep, go Eagles. And I took a lifeguarding class just because I needed a credit somewhere.
Okay.
And I wasn't a swimmer, and that really proved the point when I had to get in the water to be a swimmer.
Did you get the credit?
No, I dropped the class. But
okay.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have asked that question.
Yeah, that's
but
all right.
Okay,
I'm
truth.
a pretty honest guy. Truth. I love truth. So I was down at the YMCA playing volleyball, and I met the aquatics director, and I also needed a job at the time, so he and I kind of hit it off, and I took the class and became a lifeguard down at the Y.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, how many years ago was this?
That was in 1991.
Oh, that goes back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
was your first involvement and continuing involvement here at this Y in Spokane?
My first involvement was soccer in Missoula, Montana.
Okay.
And but
for the 3 weeks they can have soccer, but no.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then my first job was here in Spokane was the YMCA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So you guys specialize in youth sports. Is that all year round? You guys do a lot of different sports.
The YMCA, the youth, the sports division. Yeah, we specialize in 3 sports: basketball, football, and volleyball.
The Y had something to do with basketball, didn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit with basketball and volleyball.
Like inventing it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's our little bit. That's what we did.
Yeah.
That's.
Do you remember the name of the fellow who started it?
James Naismith.
All right.
Yeah,
you win.
That's right.
2 passes to the Y.
Outstanding. Yeah. But we do some offshoots. So we'll do flag football. We do 3-on-3. We do. We do some other things, but mostly those are the 3 that we kind of hit on.
I'll have to come out and film some of those when the fall comes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there an age limit to the programs that you guys have, or can anyone really sign up?
Anybody can really sign up. The main thing that we kind of look at when we have kids sign up is, are you okay with mom or dad not being there with you out on the court, or out on the field or what that is? So usually we start, we have a kindergarten program that we do for basketball.
Well, that's young.
Yeah, that's young. Yeah, it's pretty much controlled chaos, right?
Yeah.
And we have...
Like being on live here.
Like being on live, yeah. And we also have a not third grade, but 3 years old, 4, 5 kind of a deal where we do some clinics for them that we call the Y Rookies. We have a little basketball,
teach you some basic skills.
Yeah, basic skills, fun, having a good time, which sports needs.
How much of playing basketball or any of the sports is really about the friendship and the teamwork and all of that?
That's what we tend to focus on.
Yeah.
And I think sports has gotten away from that, a bit. And we're just kind of reinstituting that. We just started a program where we nominate our sportsmanship players.
Okay.
And we have shown them off at the Empire Games.
Okay.
During halftime, so we kind of have a partnership with that. And in the football, which is pretty prominent, and we kind of want to adjust. We have the little helmet decal that they get if they get a sportsmanship.
That's fun.
And a respect one is what we started this spring.
Good.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys have a lot of kids show up for these events?
Yes. We have our fall coming up, our fall grid kids. And that's usually over about 650 kids.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a lot.
It's a great turnout.
Yeah.
That's controlled chaos in mass.
Yes. Yes. That is controlled chaos in mass for sure. Yeah. So that's great.
Do you go home exhausted after a Saturday?
A lot of times. Yeah, a lot of times, and but it's fun. It's fun to watch. So.
The WISE program is a little bit I mean, there are several programs out there for
Correct.
soccer and everything else. Some of them are for the more, what I would call more experienced kids.
Correct.
You know, that have and want to have the talents and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing based on my old experience and what I've seen that the Y is more for everybody and a chance for everybody to play and the sportsmanship and so forth, and not the blinders on to just get to the goal line.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we do. We have our recreation programs where 50% of the kids always play.
Okay.
You know, and the only time that would change if somebody gets hurt or somebody just doesn't want to play anymore.
Yeah. So kids aren't out there tripping the others, are they?
No. Yeah. Right. But we do have a couple of competitive leagues. Where kids have to play 25%. So it's still a
little more advanced.
A little bit more advanced, but we still keep the concept of the YMCA along with that, and we don't veer from that very much. And and we really hammer down on the sportsmanship. And,
Good, because
all the way around.
We've seen the typical little league parents and everything else, and and honestly, it's hard to go to sometimes to these things and be quiet too.
Correct.
Because you see things, you go, you kind of roll your eyes, and so forth. But I think the basics, the sportsmanship, and I can think of young people. My son is turning 40 this year, and he did a lot of the Y sports over the years and so forth. And some of his best friends are those that were on his basketball team and so forth. There's that, I don't have to be a star athlete. I can make mistakes, and I can still have fun.
Right.
And I think we need more of that.
We do.
We've almost become a little too serious in life sometimes,
We have.
I'm thinking politics to sports to you name it.
Yeah.
We need to get a life once in a while.
And that's really what we've past 8 months, 6 months, we're hammering home in all our programs is, parents have a specific role when they come to the game.
Right.
Coaches have a role.
Yeah.
And
parents probably pretty much shut up.
Cheer for the team, the other team, the coach, the umpire, whatever. But anything other than that, let's not deal with that. Let's not do that. So
Now let me ask a question and jump in, Casey. I'm just I'm on a roll here. How about the cost, and are there scholarships available and those kinds of things? Because not everybody can afford extracurricular activities today.
Right. There's a cost to everything.
Yeah.
But the YMCA does a great job in the community. We fundraise about almost $500,000 a year, but we give away about 1.8 million. So there's a bit of a gap there, and for sports specifically, we get a portion of that annual campaign. But I also go out and ask for contributions for sports. I'm meeting with a great guy tomorrow, Butch from Bulldog Rooter, who sponsors our leagues, and he does a great job. But we are sitting at we've helped so far this year about 44 kids with scholarships.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a big deal, and we'll probably do another 44 here coming up in the fall.
Okay, so if people are watching this and say, "Hey, I'd like to help," how can they do that?
Yeah, they can contact me. Just at mwilliams@ymcaspokane.org.
Gosh, that's pretty simple. Straightforward, isn't it?
Pretty straightforward.
And I'm guessing the M from M. Williams is for Mike.
Mike,
right?
And the last name Williams, ends with an S. And so, pretty simple. I have a direct line that is just 720-5614. And we'd love to hear from anybody who would like to get, and if I can just add that,
absolutely.
Part of the thing that we do here that we've really started to do is we take a look at kids who really need the help. So we start off with a 25%, 35%, depending upon income. And depending upon real need, we will do 50 to 100% for kids, depending upon need, of course. But we go a little bit step further as we get the kids pants, we get the kids socks, we get them cleats, we get them those things that they're really going to need.
Yeah, because there's nothing like showing up then and everybody else has their stuff but you.
But you. Yeah. And we don't like the kids to feel poorly with that. So we try to get the kids out there and do what we can for them.
And I think part of that is paying it forward too,
Absolutely.
because these kids will come back.
Yes, they will.
Later on and help fund and support and be coaches and parents and so forth. So there's a real lesson there.
Right. Always looking for the next generation of volunteer coaches.
Yeah. Great.
I'll tell you that.
Great. Casey, last question.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier about a few events that you guys have coming up.
Right.
You want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah. So this year we're starting 2 new programs in the summer. We have a 7-on-7 passing league.
Okay.
And we have a doubles grass volleyball league. So
Doubles grass volleyball.
Yeah. So that's all 5 through 12th grade.
Oh, wow.
Is what we're
I'm
doing,
too
yeah.
old for that, darn.
Yeah.
And Chris, one of our former interns, is over at Boeing for 14 weeks, but he's into the big sand volleyball and all of that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Chris is a good man.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
great. Well, all right. Thank you for coming. And
Thank
again,
you.
let's give the website, because everything you can find today on the website. So the website is
www.ymcaspokane.org.
All right. That's even I can remember that.
Yep, it's simple.
All right. Thanks. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Good job.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.
Hi, this is Tom Sawyer of Tom Sawyer Country Coffee, and we're very excited to start our first year at our new location just on the north side of Kendall Yards. Come and enjoy a great cup of coffee and see the display of coffee memorabilia dating back to the 1800s. Or pick up a pound of our freshly roasted coffees to make at home. We're open Monday through Saturday starting March 5th, or find us at TomSawyerCountryCoffee.com. Come watch us perk up when you walk in.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams, still 70 degrees outside. Now, I haven't looked in the last half hour. What's it like? Is it sunny? Is it overcast?
It is overcast.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a reason we're down still at 70.
I think so. The clouds did not trap in all the heat, though.
Oh,
thankfully. So that was nice.
Okay. All right, so I might need a coat or something. Yeah,
Maybe.
Okay. Hey, Jennifer Valerien.
Valerien, yes.
All right, I got it right. There's some hope. You work for a real estate firm in town, but you've got even a more important job in that you're, is it chairman or president of the board of Spokane Association? President.
Yes, I own my brokerage,
Okay.
Remax and Empire.
Okay.
But I'm also president of the Spokane Association of Realtors this year.
Okay, so you're playing this game with the balls and the. Do you remember the old Ed Sullivan show with the plates in the air and stuff? That was before your time.
I remember plates in the air, but not necessarily from Ed Sullivan.
Well, the bad news is I remember the show. Okay, so that just tells us we're a completely different generation. But that's the story of my life. Hey, let's talk about several things. Then I want to talk about some safety issues too, because that's always of concern to both the client and to the realtor and so forth.
Right.
But April, how was April?
April, oh my goodness. You probably heard many different things.
Yes.
You know,
that's why we brought the expert in.
You know, overall, if you look at just April,
Yeah.
it might look a little bit down compared to what you would be expecting.
That wouldn't have anything to do with the weather, though, would it?
Possibly a little bit with the weather, but really, we're still up. I mean, the market is hot.
Now, when we say we're down from a year ago, or down from the previous month a little bit?
Yeah, when you compare month to month, it's down. But when you look at April last year versus April this year, the sales it's 1% difference, which is not a huge up, but we're there.
Hey, 1% is better than 1% down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
All
and
right.
especially when you look at prices, because the average sales price is up.
Yes.
7%.
Yes, for
So,
sellers, and for realtors and and everybody really, because I mean, you start looking at the value of your house, and let's face it, many of us are hoping that it gets back to the pre-2007, 2008 level.
Correct.
I think back to my loan that was appraised, and I think it was 2007, and I don't think the value is quite at what it was appraised at yet. It's getting there.
Right.
but we're all, kind of hoping that things come to fruition here. We're just finishing May.
Yes.
How's it looking?
May, even busier than April.
Okay,
so
good.
That's great.
Good. So the trend is back up.
The trend is back. The challenge is our inventory is still low.
Okay.
With the jobs the way they are, people are wanting to buy houses,
okay,
which is great.
Yes.
But I think there's still a little bit of shock. You mentioned the prices, 2006-ish. We're back. I mean, we're coming back there. So if you were nervous, you wanted to sell at that time, but maybe you couldn't, check with your realtor now, because likely you can.
Okay. Yeah. And what I've been hearing from others, and I think you'll probably agree with this, is that you're still getting in the last 6 months or so the second and third offers coming in. A lot of them are multi-offers.
Correct. If you are priced for the market,
right,
you will tend to get multiple offers.
Okay.
There are a lot of buyers out there who are wanting to buy.
Are you finding some homeowners are going, okay, I really want to jack up the price because I keep hearing if things are, and you have to have a sit down with them at some point?
We do have to have a sit down because the market is what it is. We would love, we would love to get you 100,000
But the market's the market.
But the market is the market. So it's really important to have that professional guide you through that. We don't want to sell for less than we can get you.
Right.
Because it doesn't benefit anybody.
But when it comes down to it, for the buyer and for the seller and for the market, it really does come down in terms of loans and everything else to the market value.
It really does.
I mean, it really does.
Because the house still has to appraise. Most of your buyers will have a loan.
Are you having to take the hot prodder, out of the fire and prod some lenders and say, okay, you've got to start thinking beyond the normal scope of what am I thinking of? Likely
values.
And what's the right word?
Well, I think for the appraisers,
other spots, near you.
The appraisers, a lot of them are good, but they're nervous too because they haven't seen the market like this, and they are reviewed. They get reviewed on their appraisals, and so they
comparables. That was the word I was thinking.
Okay, perfect. Yes, right. And so we do help. It's a team effort in this. So a lot of times appraisers will contact us and say, hey, I'm trying to do this.
What are you using for a comparable?
Exactly.
And they can choose to or not use that.
Right.
But
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. One of the things that you guys sent over was a little video that was put together by the national organization.
Correct.
Talking about safety, and the safety. My first thought is the safety of realtors, especially women. Okay, going out and fortunately, we don't hear this very often, but once in a while there are bad stories across the country that things go bad. I mean, it happens to any industry. I took a look at the video, and we're showing a little snippet of it right now. That the video is more than just for realtors; it's for the customer, the client as well, so that we go into this either selling or buying with our eyes open, right?
The video, which I love, was totally based from the consumer point of view.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was fantastic. And really with the market.
And kind of fun to watch in some ways.
Right.
It's humorous a little bit.
It's nice timing because with the market as hot and heavy as it feels, a lot of times you feel like you need to rush through something or you need to do this right away.
Right.
It's okay to stop and pause and look and think and act appropriately for your safety, for your agent's safety. There's things that we do for a reason.
Yes.
For our safety, but also for theirs.
Right.
And it's okay if we ask you for your name and number. It's not because we want to bug you. It's because our sellers need to know who's in the house.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So and I love that the video is from that consumer side, so you can understand why we do some of the things we do. We're not out to stop a sale or get you, but we want everybody's
but I think
protection.
we all need to be cautious today. Is it on the website, the Spokane Association
It is.
of Realtors?
If you go to SpokaneRealtor.com, you can find the whole video there. It's about 3 minutes long, but it's a fantastic, easy watch. So if you're
I found good pointers in there that I really hadn't thought about. I mean, you just kind of, okay, set me up, let's go visit, and there's more to thinking about that.
They're very much
in
so.
today's society than
very much so.
That,
and it's not just women that need to be concerned, men as well.
No, everybody.
Yeah.
And you've got people that are looking for homes that are bringing their kids and so forth.
And especially those vacant houses, you don't know how long they have been vacant, what the condition is, and if you have kids running around in there, we need to
Through the first floor to the basement, right?
I've been doing this 19 years, and I have seen that happen.
You've only lost a couple of kids, right?
No. Not with a person, but with a bathtub.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Someone got in a bathtub?
No, they were testing it. The water came on, and it started pouring from the ceiling above, and right through the kitchen.
So it wasn't a bathtub, it was a shower.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
So we see everything.
Now, let's be honest, with today's market and so forth, probably one of the best advices that we could give folks is to go get pre-qualified.
Yes.
That really makes a difference, because if you're going to compete with other buyers, if you're going to want to make an offer right away,
you need to be prepared to compete. You can't compete.
So who do they contact? Do they contact a realtor to start with? Do they contact their own lender?
We see it both ways. If you don't have a lender that you know and you're comfortable with, contact your realtor.
Okay,
because they're going to have access to, based on your situation, what type of loan you want.
Yeah.
How fast you want to close, what you need to do. They have resources that way.
Yeah, because it's no longer, I remember in the old days, it was FHA and conventional. Now there are several choices.
There are many choices.
And 15, 30 year, I mean, who can keep track of it but you?
Exactly. Yeah. And, if you're in a time crunch and you are competing, is your underwriter local?
Yeah.
Can they perform quicker than another person? What are you putting for your earnest money or down payment?
I hadn't thought about that, but you're right.
Contact your realtor because we can get you through the process.
Yeah,
for sure.
Good. All right. Well, where should people go to look for homes and everything else? You guys have a site other than your own internal Spokane Association of Realtors site,
correct.
Right?
Realtor.com is a great place. It's a very, very large national site. It's sponsored by the National Association of Realtors, which is great. But if you also contact your local realtor, they can set you up with the local information on the spot. You can get updates as soon as they hit the multiple listing service.
Kind of behind the scenes.
It is totally behind the sines. That's why it's so important to contact.
The Russians aren't involved, are they?
No.
Okay.
Yet.
Yet. Okay. All right. Oh, all right. Well, Jennifer, thank you.
Yes,
good to have you here.
It's great to
be here. Will you come back in a couple months as we get into the fall season?
You just call me and I'll be here.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Spokane Association of Realtors. We're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
If you need a sign, banner, or business cards for your business, who do you call? Hi, this is Kent Adams.
And Tom MacArthur from Business Talks. Kent and I call Instant Sign Factory for our signs, banners, business cards, and more.
Dave at Instant Sign Factory is our go-to guy for printing, and he always does excellent work for us.
Check them out online. They've got an all-new website, InstantSignFactory.com.
Tell them Kent and Tom from Business Talks sent you. Instant Sign Factory.
You hear us say it.
We are tracking breaking news in Spokane County where firefighters...
We're talking exclusive.
I want to be the survivor and someone that reaches out and helps other people.
These stories you'll only see here.
My family's safe because he is off the streets.
This interview.
What is it like being a teenager nowadays?
This investigation. This moment for the first time.
I hope our apartment doesn't burn down.
We don't just cover breaking news, we own it.
Pretty scared, thought we weren't going to make it through.
KHQ Local News, right now.
Hey everybody, it's Josh and Lucy with Rugged Trading Company. We're excited to announce our first ever garage sale event here at our warehouse, 7826 North Market. We're gonna have a barbecue, a bouncy castle, and we are blowing out a shipping container full of great stuff, including brand new Christine Alexander apparel. Don't forget to check us out, ruggedtrading.com. We've got tons of great stuff. Our prices drop daily. See you there.
Spokane Talks Live, Kent Adams. Hey, Steve, what's our temperature outside? 70? It hasn't moved. Tom, would you go out and work on the weather a little bit? Just a couple more degrees up, please. Thank you. Welcome back. We're having fun. Some of us are having more fun than others. Rose?
Guegel.
Easy for you to say.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like rhymes with
bugle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm,
All right. Well, you're here to toot your horn about a program called, let me get it here. What's it called?
Compass
USA. Okay, I thought there was,
Yes.
It's about host families, about a program you do. Let's, first of all, describe what the program is.
So what we do, we are a homestay program.
Okay.
And in Spokane, we actually bring in 140 Japanese students.
Okay.
Along with 14 Japanese adults. So
okay.
For the summer, it's just short of 3 weeks, from July 22nd through August 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have them all throughout Spokane and even northern Idaho.
Wow.
So my job is I oversee the whole program. We have 7
It's like
groups.
herding cats, isn't it?
Kind of, sometimes it is. These kids, they've been studying English for 3 years.
Okay.
And so their trip to Spokane is kind of like their last hurrah of their study.
Okay.
And so they come here to improve upon their conversational English and just learn about our host families and our American culture.
Okay, now are they with the host families for the 3 weeks?
Yes, they are.
Wow, that's an experience for both.
Exactly.
Are you finding families with kids? Are you finding, what are you finding here in Spokane? Because you got to find quite a few.
Yes,
Yeah, she says. With that panic look in your eyes.
Can you tell?
Are you ready for this year?
We're close.
Okay,
We're really close.
all right.
So, because I need 154 families total, because we don't double on any of them up.
Okay.
We'll take families with older children, younger children, no children, as long as
Adults that act like children.
Exactly.
Okay.
Those are even more fun. So, if anybody's ready and willing to open up their hearts and homes, take them.
I'm going to go way back to when I was in high school, which was a couple of centuries ago. Soon after I think World War I. But I was involved, as we've talked earlier in the program here, with the YMCA, and was a counselor and all of that. And we had an opportunity to host. I think I was a junior or senior in high school, host a young Japanese fella who was here for a week. And that was one of the greatest experiences.
Yes.
The trading of information and the perspective that he had on the USA and
Very much
perspective
so.
that we had on Japan and so forth. And the challenge at times of trying to figure out some words and so forth.
Yes, that's always fun.
I had challenge with English and but the fact is, I remember that fondly.
Exactly.
I really do.
Exactly.
And in fact, I was thinking as I was looking at some of the information that you sent the other day, trying to remember his name, because that would have been 50 some years ago, And I'm going to have to go back to scrapbooks and things like that to find it, because I wonder how he's doing.
Exactly.
We're both about the same age and so forth, which means he's ancient too. But what I'm saying is the experience of hosting somebody or going there and being hosted, I think is such a treasure.
It is.
That I think all need to experience that. And if you've got kids at home, what a wonderful opportunity
it is
for them to experience that.
It is. It's such a great way for our kids to see another culture, because, even Spokane, we're diverse, but not that diverse.
Well, you look at, we're 89% white.
Okay? Exactly.
So I don't care how you shake it and so forth.
Yep.
We're not diverse like Seattle or in LA or some of the other communities around the country. So we literally have to import some for that experience.
Exactly.
And I think it's terrific.
Yes.
So,
and the other nice thing about our program is it's only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not the year-long commitment type of thing.
Yeah.
And during that 3 weeks, we do have class that they attend. So we keep them busy during the
Do you?
weekdays. So if, host parent is working during the day, not a problem.
So it's not like full-time babysitting, if you will. Okay.
Exactly.
So how do you go about finding host families?
Well,
obviously you probably have a cadre of people who will say yes almost every year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But that doesn't fill the quota.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
So we do, word of mouth is probably our best resource. Do
you reach out to those who have been doing it to say, do you know of somebody else? Because they're the best advocate, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they can talk about their experience and, what they had. So,
the word of mouth. We also utilize churches, getting the word out to them, schools, just any venue that we can do. We usually try to do it. So, but word of mouth is definitely our biggest resource and success that we have.
What's the cost involved to a family?
Basically, just an additional mouth to feed, and maybe a little bit more gas getting them to and from the academic centers. But again, we have carpools available.
But they're not expected to totally entertain them, to take them to Seattle and those kinds of things. Just to experience life here in Spokane, Washington, right?
Exactly. We really encourage families to do something even as simple as go out at night and see the night stars, the sky, because these kids come from, it's a school in Chiba, Japan, which is basically a suburb of Tokyo. So it's all cement, pretty much. And so for them just to see our night skies, or even just take them up.
Take them to a lake?
Yes. Oh my gosh. They just love that. And it's funny because they call it, I want to go see the sea or the ocean.
Yes.
Because they don't know it's lake for us.
Well, they're surrounded by the sea.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So,
I hadn't thought about that. But
so something, just simple, playing games with them, just, going out on the street and playing, because again, a lot of them live in apartments.
Like we used to do.
Right? Yes. So, but we do offer host families at the end of the program, we do offer a small stipend of $150 because we do know, that
there's some out of pocket.
There's a little bit of extra, but for the most part, if you want to go to Glacier or Seattle, you're welcome to do that, but it's not a requirement.
Right. Well, the nice thing is, we have 76 lakes within 76 miles, kind of, all the sales pitch here. We do have some beautiful locations. In fact, we're going to start a series to go out and take a look at what's available in this area and so forth, because we are very lucky, and sometimes we miss the obvious that we drive by even.
Exactly. And that's the one other nice thing I know for us when we've hosted is kind of like you learn about your city again, and kind of like, oh yeah, let's go do this type of thing that normally you wouldn't do.
Right.
You just kind of think, some other day.
It's Spokane,
right?
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. So if people want to help, how can they help you?
They can give me a call.
Okay.
My number is 509-993-3896, and I would love to answer any questions or concerns that they have and sign them up to host. It's really pretty simple. We get your basic information. We do a background check and a home check.
Good.
But other than that, I mean, it's really
You have a website
simple.
As well?
We do have a website, compass-usa.net.
Okay.
Or you can also email me at compassusa.rose. I use my first name there. At gmail.com.
All right, great. Well, Rose, thank you for coming. This is a great program, and having experienced something like this centuries ago, there is so much to learn and so much to gain from it.
It really is. I've had more families say, can I swap my kids? Can I keep the Japanese and send them back home?
I got some grandkids. My kids are all, too old to toss out, but the grandkids, there might be one or two there.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rose. You have a good day, okay?
Thank you,
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Barbara Mueller.
And I'm Marty Mueller. We have gotten some amazing opportunities to design and build IMAX cameras that were going to go on the space station. We came up with a mechanism that we poured a year into, and we had to start over. The failure resulted in a camera that we got an Academy Award for.
The first shot, when you see Earth from our camera, there is no other moment like it.
Wouldn't have happened without that failure.
So how do you give a kid or even an adult the skills to go forward? The only alternative is to teach them to think, to teach them to explore, take risks, and know that they're going to fall, and they're going to fall on their next great idea.
Gizmo's a makerspace, which is a community laboratory for education and fun.
The cooperation amongst people is the most important thing that we have. And STCU is doing that, and I hope that we're doing that too.
STCU.
Here for good.
Snoring can disrupt marriages and cause serious health problems. Call Sleep Better Northwest first, the experts in dental sleep medicine. Their medically approved, custom-fit oral appliances will have both you and your partner sleeping better and being more productive throughout your day. Don't wait. Snoring and sleep apnea can signal potential strokes or heart attacks. For more information, visit needbettersleepnow.com and download our health guide today. Sleep Better Northwest, the experts in dental sleep medicine.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live, and we're having fun. The fact is, Don Morgan, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Good.
How's Ken?
Ken is doing just great. We've had Pia Hallenberg, who normally does the segment that we're doing right now, is off doing something out at Medical Lake or some lake this morning, a story.
There are lakes around here?
I know. Yeah, what a surprise. And then she's going to do a drive along with one of the deputies for a story with the sheriff's department.
Sometimes they call it
Ride-alongs. Okay, what did I say?
drive along.
Drive along? Okay, well, yeah, okay. Maybe they'll let her drive.
No, they
No,
won't.
woman
No.
driver. We don't even want to go there, okay? But so we're going to have some fun.
Okay.
And then Ryan, who normally does this segment, you stole part of his segment a week or so ago.
I
didn't
did,
you?
and
Yeah.
then he got so upset he walked out.
Yeah,
on
he
you.
walked out. So I'm stuck with you, or is it you're stuck with me? Okay.
We're
and
in this thing together.
and you brought some visitors here today.
Don't mention them.
Don't mention them? Okay, it'll go to their head?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got one daughter like that, I know.
At least one.
At least one, yeah. Yeah, another one here, too. Yeah.
But we're not going to mention that.
No, we won't mention
No.
that. Hey, what's going on out there? And we were talking during the commercial break, what we knew 5 minutes ago and what we knew yesterday has really changed.
It really has. And in my world, the world of people that give financial
The world
advice,
according to Don.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world got flipped upside down this year. The
Yeah.
federal government has released new regulations that cover anyone who talks to people about their IRA.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be worthwhile going back to 1970 and looking at the world then and then sort of stepping forward through the decades.
Okay.
So in 1970, if you worked out at Kaiser, you didn't worry about the stock market typically. Because you didn't need to. You didn't have a 401k plan.
Okay.
You had a pension.
You had a pension, and someone else worried about it.
That's right. Now, you'd save some money because you're prudent.
Yeah.
And when you retired, you'd have Social Security, and you'd have your pension, and you'd have some money in the bank. And your house would have been paid off because that's what you did. You arranged for your mortgage to be paid before you retired.
Right.
And, it worked.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
Well, it used to be.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened in 1974-75. In 1974... Congress fixed the pension problem.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Well,
you said that with a pretty straight face, too.
Well, if you ask them, they did.
Yeah, okay.
And they passed a law called the Employee Retirement Income Security Act.
Okay.
Name that long.
Yeah.
Affectionately called in the industry ERISA.
Okay.
And the ERISA law changed how people saved for retirement because all of a sudden, little by little and then quickly, companies said, why should I be responsible for you after you leave my company? You save your money and you invest your money and you make those decisions.
In some cases, they might match or whatever, but
it's your problem.
But it's your issue.
Right.
You're right.
And so they transferred the risk of the stock market from the company to the employee.
Right.
And stockbrokers back in 1970, before all this happened, back to that guy working at Kaiser, he might, on the birth of a grandchild, go in and say, hey, Mr. Stockbroker, I want to buy 100 shares of Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Or General Motors or Ford. And I want to buy that so that when my grandchild turns 18, they could buy a house with it. They could go to college with it. And they'd get the certificate, and the stockbroker charged them a commission. It was the same wherever you went.
Okay.
Because they had this agreement that actually predated the United States called the Buttonwood Agreement, I think. Willow.
Before my time, I know.
Yeah. But in 1975, in May of 1975, the Supreme Court said, "Psst, hey, you guys on Wall Street, yeah, you got to compete."
Yeah.
And it was a riot because they didn't have any idea how to do that. And this guy named Charles Schwab came up and said, "Look, I'll show you how it's done." And he put this big sign up that said discount.
Yeah.
And they've been competing ever since.
And call me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And since then, the world changed.
Yes.
The costs of buying 100 shares of stock dropped. And they keep dropping, by the way.
Okay.
It's now down to fractions of
well, isn't that $4.95?
You literally,
you know what I'm talking about, the commercial where the guy drops the screen and everything else. I mean, yeah.
But almost no one makes their living selling stock anymore.
Yeah.
What happened was in the 80s, they started playing off of the theme that people on Wall Street knew something.
Okay.
And probably the most...
Is this like fantasy football? No, I'm just...
Do you remember the E.F. Hutton ad when E.F. Hutton speaks?
Yes.
Everybody listens.
Yes, yeah.
Because they knew
I thought
things.
Effective series of ads.
Actually, it was. It was one of the most memorable branding campaigns in history.
Right.
That and the old Smith Barney, we make money the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
We earn it.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
So in the 80s, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have 24/7 cable news.
Right.
We called a stockbroker to find out what was going on.
Right.
And we started needing advice on our 401k plan.
Yeah.
Now, before that, there were financial planners, and they were governed under a completely different set of rules.
Oh, great.
In the 90s, the big boys started saying, we ought to imitate those few financial planners out there and charge fees. So they did, and the financial planners sued the stockbrokers, and the court said, guys aren't playing by the rules. And so the big companies went out and registered everyone, dual licensed, so they were financial planners, registered investment advisors technically, and stockbrokers. Not all of them.
So they could say whatever hat they had on, Yeah.
And little by little, they started offering more and more planning. When I got started at Smith Barney, they trained me as a financial planning specialist.
Okay.
And it always fascinated me, and there's a lot of math.
During telegraph time, right?
It was a little past that.
Okay.
But we still had the wire to the exchange floor, literally in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's why they called them wirehouses. Have we got time for a little digression on what a financial planner does?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I know it's boring. But it all starts with what I call the financial planning.
And it's only Dawn I can do that with, right? Yeah.
You do that with your wife, she'll punch you.
Oh, yeah. You want to see the... No.
So imagine drawing a cross on a piece of paper.
Okay.
And then you're going to put 4 letters on the cross. In the upper left-hand corner, you're going to put the letter I.
Okay.
Lower left, E. Upper right, A. Lower right, L.
Okay.
The upper left is your income quadrant. You write down all your income sources.
Okay.
In your case, it's blank, but we'll move by that.
Kind of like my mind.
Yeah. The lower left-hand quadrant is your expenses.
Okay.
You net that out, you either have a positive or a negative number.
Right.
Pretty basic. By the way, you have a negative number, it's a crisis.
Yes, and you're not going to live with that very long.
No, you can't. It's a problem. If it's a positive number...
That's called government. U.S. government.
If you can print your own money, it's easy.
Yeah.
Assets is the A quadrant.
Okay.
Liabilities is the lower right-hand quadrant.
Okay.
You net that out, you have a positive or negative number. Most people have a positive number there. A negative is not a crisis, it's just not good.
It probably has a lot to do with where you are at that particular time as well, right?
Yeah, you start out in life, you're brand new out of college,
you're
in
in
the
mortgage
hole.
And everything else the first 10 years or so.
Talk to any contractor, they'll tell you every building project starts with a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
So does your financial house.
Okay.
You start out in the hole. We all do. And you build from there. And as you start doing that, then the third document that you do is a financial planning projection or a cash flow projection.
Right.
Because it's all about the cash. Well, the idea of financial planning has grown and grown and grown because more and more people need it. So today, because of the new rules and everything else, a lot of firms are doing what we're doing, which is going to a front door that says financial planner.
Okay.
And people are paying us a fee for the financial plan, and then they'll sometimes hire us to implement it and sometimes not.
Right.
But at least they'll know what's going on.
At least they have their blueprint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, financial plan is just like a blueprint on a house. It's how you build it.
Or a business plan or anything else that theoretically we should have.
Now, ask me where it's going in the future.
Where's it going in the future, Don?
Partly it's going to robots.
Okay, yeah. For the simple things, we hope only.
Well, I don't know. I mean, IBM has a pretty...
We talked about this before,
yeah.
that the robots can't ask some of the complex questions or dig in.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But artificial intelligence is being layered in
Think
in
of
big
Watson.
ways.
Okay,
yeah,
the computer. Okay.
Exactly right. Hospitals and doctors are using Watson to help them operate.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you that what I do for a living is as tough as brain surgery.
Right.
Because we'd be in trouble.
I didn't think so. I wasn't going to accuse you of that.
But I'm telling you that robots are going to be part of the future.
Yeah.
And
almost everything we do.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're building cars. They're building things. Let's face it.
And they're moving into white-collar spaces.
Yeah.
More and more, you go to the grocery store, and you don't get a human being as your cashier. You get a robot. They don't call it a robot.
Yeah.
It's a robot.
Yeah.
Or you do it yourself.
Right.
How do you like that?
Yeah.
Do they give you a price break?
No.
I didn't think so. So I don't know if you saw the news last week, but one of the Billionaire Boys Club kids, the guy that owns Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Gave a speech at Harvard where he suggested that the government should give everyone an income.
Right.
Well, and I'm not saying
I think that's spelled socialism, isn't it?
Maybe. I'm not sure. And you know me, I'm pretty darned conservative when it comes to economics, at least.
Right.
But the challenge for the 21st century is, where are the jobs going to be?
Yeah.
Where is the income going to come from? Who's going to buy the stuff the robots make?
Right.
Because robots don't buy stuff.
Right.
And that is the big challenge.
Yeah, we're so excited to create the robotics and being able to take away some of the burdens and so on and so forth. But that's going to encroach on us as workers and everything else, though.
Well, and you go out to Kaiser,
right,
and you look, and where they used to have 1,000 people, they have 100.
Yeah,
doing the work of 1,000 people.
Exactly.
So it's not like the work isn't being done; it just isn't taking
a different way.
Yeah. And those guys on the line are getting paid better than the 1,000 were, but the 900 that aren't there, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And that's a challenge. So
it is a challenge. It really is.
And it's not just in one place.
No.
Talk to teachers, talk to doctors.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't want to ruin your day, but in Great Britain, in London, one of the big...
That's a way of saying he's going to ruin my day.
Well, the British Broadcasting Corporation hired a robot as a sportscaster.
Yeah.
Now, what you do is a little tougher than sportscasting.
There are a few in Spokane on TV that sound like robots.
Now, be nice.
Oh, no, I won't mention any names. Okay.
But it is interesting where we're going.
Yeah, it
in
is.
Your world, the world of broadcast entertainment, how many people work there today versus 20 years ago?
Well, exactly. And you look at what we're doing with
just cutting edge stuff.
The podcasting, meaning that we aren't, while we do some, like we are today, sending out a signal on the internet live and so forth. We don't do that often, just this program right now. We'll be doing some others as we move forward. But the fact is, our viewers, our listeners, find us and listen to or watch what they want.
When they want.
Right. Not the 6 o'clock news on one of the local TV stations tonight. Right. That will only spend a minute and 10 on maybe a major story, 2 minutes, if there's someone's freaked out in Spokane or whatever. But you're dealing with, 21 minutes, if you're lucky, of news in a 28, 29-minute time period. So we're finding people are coming to us because they want to listen to an actual conversation.
Well, and some of your shows have had tens of thousands. I think I heard 83,000 hits on one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of listeners.
Our live show, like we're doing now, 2 weeks ago, had almost 1,900 people that watched it within.
I was on.
Yeah, that's probably right. But between what's called in the broadcast industry is live plus 5. It means the live show, the day the episode, even if it's recorded, is aired, if you will, and then 5 days following. a big discussion whether you go live +5 or live +7, and that really comes from the DVRing and so forth that most of us do, except maybe some news. But the rest of the programs I'm watching based on something that I've recorded.
And when you want to watch it.
Exactly. And same with my wife. News we'll watch a little bit live and so forth, but we don't watch as much news as we used to either.
And I'm not a good consumer of the mass media, but I suspect that the programming has to be more compelling to get me to watch it.
Yeah. What they say in national broadcasts of national news, if you don't catch them in the first 7 seconds, you've lost them.
You've lost them.
So that's why you see some of the headlines and so forth that they throw out there. Let's kind of pull things together. Where are we today? I'm not going to ask you to put on the thinking cap out looking ahead, because you'll never do that for me.
Right. Because I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, and then because we try to hold you to it too.
Yeah. There's that whole
and your clients and everything else. But where are we today?
Today people still want planning. People still want a human being. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
When people come in and sit down, it's fascinating. It's just like going to the doctor if you haven't been for a while.
Right.
You don't even know what you want to tell the doctor.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to explain
until
what you're
they start
worried
asking
about.
some questions that take you off on various tangents.
Right.
Well, now that you mention it, my foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or sometimes in the night, or
right.
Exactly. So it still involves an emotional give and take.
Yeah.
We're seeing a very strong inflow of new clientele, which obviously we're very grateful for.
Yeah.
I credit all of that to Spokane Talks
Absolutely.
But
bills in the mail.
That's right. The reality is the robots are coming. They're not here yet.
Yeah.
People still need help, and that the times are very uncertain. There's an unsettled nature out there.
But you're using robots now in terms of computers and so forth, so that you can take the information that you've gathered and it can do some things for you that would take you a lot longer.
Oh my gosh.
If you're doing it by hand.
When I was a kid, I dreamed of nothing more than someday being able to own my own computer.
Yeah.
I've lost count of how many I own, and I never get to play with them.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, the joke around here is we're computer poor. Yeah.
Every dollar comes in, you go buy a new computer.
Yeah, well, we got one more coming.
And then if you don't have any computers to buy, you can always buy more cameras or lighting.
Well, that comes, yeah. Don, how can people reach you?
IndependentWealthConnections.com or 509-931-1088.
And you're out in the Spokane Valley on Pines, just north of the freeway, right?
Exactly.
On the east side of the street.
We are.
And it kind of looks like a home there and so forth. And
maybe someday a retirement home.
Yeah. Okay. But you've got a great staff. You've had staff in here before to be on our show, and we appreciate you. Thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure.
We're going to take a long break because we won't be back until next Wednesday at noon. Have a great day. Have a great week. Be safe. Thanks.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.